Hello and welcome to the video by TrumpExcel. I am Sumit Bansal, and in this video I will show you how to create the if or formula or if and formula in Power Query. So here I have the sales data, and if I go to the data tab and click on from table range, it'll open this in Power Query. Now, in one of the previous videos, we have already covered how to do an if or conditions, and we did this by inserting a conditional column. So let me just try and repeat this again here. So here I have the sales rep, and what I want is if it's if the name is Laura or Stacy, then it should give me Miss, else it should give me Mr., and then I can combine these columns. And to do that, what we can do is go to add column and insert a conditional column. Now, conditional column is something that was added to Power Query later. It was not there when Power Query came out. And if you had to create these kinds of conditions where you're checking for if the name is Laura or the name is Stacy, then do this, else do this, you would have to go into the functions, you'll have to create a formula, or you would have to go into the M code and do this. Now, in this case, what we can do is simply add a column and click on conditional column. And it shows us this nice little pop-up, this nice little dialog box where I can specify the column name. Let's keep it custom, and the column name here, which would be the conditions that you want to analyze. So in this case, I'm saying if the sales rep name contains Laura, then the output would be Miss. And here I can add a condition. So this would be if this is true or if this is true. So if this is the condition where the name is Laura, or if the name contains Stacy, then it would be Miss, else in all the other cases it would be Mr. So if you read this formula, it would be if the name contains Laura or the name contains Stacy, then it would be Miss, otherwise it would be Mr. So this is an if or formula. And now if I click OK, it inserts this custom column here. Now let's go to the formula bar here and check the formula. And here it says if text contains sales rep Laura, then Miss, else if text contains sales rep Stacy, then Miss, else Mr. Let me copy this part from here and let me replicate this formula in the custom column. So here I would add a custom column, and if you're thinking why am I doing it, because there's a perfectly fine dialog box and I can do this, you're right. There is no reason for you to create a custom formula and type this formula. But the problem with Power Query, at least as of now, is that there is an if or condition in this case. So I can check for if or, but I cannot check for if and I'm going to show you how to create an if and condition using a custom formula. So let me first replicate this. I would go to custom column here and let me call this if or formula, and here I would paste the formula that I copied from here. Now this is a perfectly fine formula, but we can optimize it further. So in this case it says if text.column is this, and instead of analyzing each condition, we can simply come here and say or text.contains is Stacy, then Miss, else Mr. And this works because at least there are no syntax errors here. And now when I click OK, it works because it inserts a column and I have these values Miss and Mr. based on these conditions. So this is an if or formula, and we saw how to do this using conditional column. We saw how to do this using a formula. Now let's create an and condition. So let me delete these columns for now. So let me select these and remove these columns. And in and condition, what I'm going to check is, let's say I have the commission here, but I don't want to use the commission in this case. I want to calculate the commission based on the quantity and the price. So if the quantity is greater than 10 and the price is greater than 50, then the commission is 10%, else the commission is 5%. So to calculate this kind of column here, I would need to use if and formula. And to do that, unfortunately, there is nothing in conditional column that can do this, but we can do this using custom column. So in this case, let's call this if and formula. And here the formula would be very simple. If the quantity here, which is this column, greater than 10, and the price here is greater than 50, then it would be 0.1, else it would be 0.5. That's it. And this is so easy to create. It's almost like plain English. If this is the condition and this is the condition, then this is the value, else this is the value. And you can see there are no syntax errors here. If I click OK, it would insert a new column and it would give me the value. So you can see it's analyzing both these columns and giving the value based on it. This is an if and condition, which you cannot insert using the inbuilt function, at least as of now, but you can do this using a simple formula. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Thank you and have a nice day.